Okay, well, I think I'm going live. Oh, so here we are. I haven't done a live stream in a few weeks. I've had a really bad month. Um, Trying to put everything back together again. And, I don't know. It's been kind of hard. Some days are better than others. Um, at the beginning of the month, I lost my son to suicide. And last week, I lost a very close friend. And my family's taken one hell of a beating this year. And it's really a bit of a bummer because starting from October 1st throughout the entire year is my favorite time of year. I love the holidays. I love Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of them. And it was really hard not to sink into like complete and utter depression. I kind of bounced back and forth a bit. But I don't want it to let everything ruin how I feel about this season. A lot of people do that. I know one person in particular who lost her brother close to the same time, and her mom gave up on Christmas altogether, so they never had trees or anything, so it was kind of sad. I don't want to be in that situation. So, instead of wallowing in it, I just use it to fuel myself, to try to come up with some way to return to normalcy and do better. It gets hard though. I don't know if anybody's ever lost a child, but to lose a child and a brother within 3 weeks is a bit much to swallow sometimes. Phlegmy. Anywho, so I'm trying to put everything back together again and minimize that. And I think I was starting off good today. I did all the work. I got caught up. I did a lot of things today for Green Geeks, and I started the blog post for the Hullabaloo that I went to on Saturday, which is a Halloween party. And I was doing great, but now it's not that I'm bummed out, but I don't feel good. Like I'm kind of sick. So apparently I feel a bit warm, nauseous. I haven't even eaten dinner yet, and I have like no plans to. So kind of a crappy start to a new beginning, but I'm actually in a fairly good mood today. But all my plans, like, I don't know if you know, but I try to maintain 3 blogs, 3 YouTube channels, a Twitch stream, Green Geeks, and trying my hand at getting published because my mom and my sister are published, and so I figured it's my turn. So with all that, you'd think that would be non-stop work, but in reality I'm kind of lazy. I don't really get too much done, and I was going to change all that, and I had really high hopes for today. Hey, Ron Kincaid, hello, how you doing, buddy? But I've got plans. I've got a good schedule worked out. I think I can get everything done. I'm having a lot of fun with the gaming channel because I love doing like hardcore Minecraft and stuff like that. So it was fun making the video, and I'm going to keep doing it even though no one's watching it. It's still fun. But I don't know how much more I'm going to do with Crossing Colorado, only because Google kind of sunk it, and because of the algorithm changes back in June, and I don't know how to fix it. But that website was built mostly to help me keep focused on losing weight and being more healthy. So it's not like it's going to be a major loss if I can't get that working again. You're doing okay? That's good to hear. That's always good. Doing okay. I think, all things considered, I think I'm doing okay. Just not physically. My stomach hurts. And I got people sending me Snapchats. I shouldn't be looking at this when I have people watching, but I'm not gonna. Oh, it's video. Okay, so it's from my daughter. Yeah, I'll watch that later. They have a habit of sending me like hour-long feature-length films through Snapchat. And nah, I'll watch it later. But anyway, what I was saying is that with Crossing Colorado, I'm not sure what I want to do, so I'm gonna try. But Truthlands Games, moo. In spite of everything, yeah, exactly. In spite of everything, I'm gonna keep pushing through. You know, it was bad enough to lose Robbie last week, but I'm still having a hard time with losing my son on the first, and I don't know. It's something I have to get through. It's just stupid cat stuff. Oh, I figured. I figured it would be. That's why I'm like, oh, all right. I'll watch it later. But I can't let all the bad things that have happened in the last few weeks erase all the stuff that I've done and all the stuff that I want to do. So it's trying to get motivated to jump into that and tackle the rest of the year. You know, grab it by the throat and pummel it into submission. And that's still my plan. I was doing great until about noon. I had lunch and then I just started feeling a little weird and kind of went downhill after that, but there's always tomorrow. And I do want to get back into doing more videos for Rider Sanctuary. And kind of feel bad that I didn't do any videos last week. It was a really bad week. And but yeah. But I'm getting there. I'm putting it back together. I'm looking forward to some of the stuff. Like I've got a Steam It one coming out soon, and then I want to do a first look at constant content, and there's a couple others that I want to do. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I wrote them down, so they're in my Asana. So I've got a lot of good things coming out. I do want to put more effort into the vlogging. I was looking at stats today, and I realized that I produced a ton of content last year for all 3 of the blogs and hardly didn't do anything this year. So, gotta get back into that. And my mom did talk me into finishing 7, so I have plans on finishing that here in the next, I don't know, a couple weeks. Depends on how much time I have throughout the day, but I'll be finishing that and then probably either working on publishing that, which means revamping, rewriting all the chapters, or start a new project on Wattpad. So I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but Mom really bugged me about getting it published, so that I will have to do. And yeah, so that's everything's good. Not spectacular, but I'm living. I'm alive. I have no intention of doing any harm to myself. God, my family. It's like everybody in my family is worried that I'm gonna like sink into some dark place and be self-destructive, and I'm not. That's not how I roll anymore. I know back in the day, 15, 20 years ago maybe, but today it's a much different type of pain. You know, it's not the same. So, now I've got a lot of other kids that depend on me. My girls depend on me. My family depends on me. So I have no choice but to screw my head back on and pull my head out of my ass. But yeah, some days I feel like Captain Kick-Ass and sometimes I don't, but I have a feeling it's going to be like that for a while. After losing a child is something you never get over. And then losing Robbie, and it just feels like I got my ass kicked, you know? But it's alright. To quote my favorite superhero, I can do this all day. Well, that's I have a long way to go before I look at Captain America, but that's on the plate. I've been I was going to do really good because I still have like 30 or 40 pounds I want to lose, And so I was kind of doing really good, and then I found out about Robbie, and then everything just went out the window. So now I kind of have to start over. But it's still my goal by Christmas to look like a Roman god. But I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, that's what's going on with me and why it's been kind of lackluster this month. Just way too much stuff going on. I still plan on doing more, so I just have to get through it. Trothan's Game says, "You're a good man. You inspired me to learn how to become a better writer on TextBroker. I went from 2-star to 3-star, and with that being said, you've got your back. You got this, good sir. Thank you very much, Trothan. I do what I can. I'm an emotional wreck. That's going to make me cry. I'm glad I was able to help, and I hope I can continue to help. It's that right there. I don't care if I ever get monetized. I don't care if I ever hit the 1,000 subscriber mark in TextBroker. It's when I help people like Trothan Games here learn more about how they can expand as a freelance writer on systems like TextBroker or Writer Access, Constant Content, or even going out and find your own private clients. It's when people say thank you and you've helped me. That's why I do what I do. So I make enough money to pay my bills. I have a lot of money left over every month, so I really don't care. It's helping people is what drives me, and why I keep doing stuff. And even though I had one hell of a bad month, I'm still gonna keep going because I love it. I love the engagement. I love helping, and it's pretty much the only social life I have. So there's that. I did go to Geeks of Grandier's party, Hullabaloo. It was at Champmany here in Highlands Ranch, and they're a charity organization that builds medical grade gaming equipment for places like Children's Hospital with kids that are in sick beds, so they can play games like the Switch, and I think they got one for the Nintendo 64 and Xbox and all those, and so they can wheel them around to all the different hospital rooms. And so every year we go through, and like this is the second annual that I've gone, and it's the second annual that they've had. So we'll go and do all this silent auction stuff and help them generate money, and so it's a great charity. I love doing it. And so that was a lot of fun. I had quite a bit of fun on Saturday. Anna Hart, sorry. Just remember, you are never alone. I will pray for you. Well, thank you very much, Anna. I know I'm not. I've got a great support structure, and if it wasn't for like my family, friends, and you guys, it would have been much more difficult to go through, and it still is sometimes. But yeah, it's all of you in my life that make it great. So I love every one of you. You guys have all helped me through some serious crap the last 30 days. My videos are all covered with thoughts and prayers, and even more than I would think. You know, I'm really hard on myself. I'm very, very, I wouldn't say self-destructive, but more of I'm very hard on myself. So like when I'm writing, I'll throw stuff away if I don't like it. I don't think I'm as good as I think I am, and it's really hard. And then when you have you guys come out and say things like you're that I'm a good person, or that you guys are well praying for me, and it's just, I don't know, it makes me feel good. It's something I don't really experience all that much, and so, and for a lot of you to be complete strangers, and so it's different. Because, yeah, I am really, really hard on myself. Not only great because, I'm sorry, I need new glasses, I couldn't believe, so I'm trying to read the chat here. Not only great because, but great people. You must be typing from your phone. But yeah, it's great people. And Max just opened my door. And then she's going to sit there and stare at it, and then she's not even going to leave. That is a pain in the ass cat. Grab her. God. So my office has a glass door on it, and we didn't shut it all the way. And my big black cat Max, you've probably seen her in past videos, she just pushed it open so she could leave. She's fun. Anyway, so let's talk about something that was probably loud on your guys' end. Sorry about that. Talk about something more positive, huh? What else is going on? I got plans for. I'll be doing a live stream on Twitch for Extra Life, which is another charity that I like to do. That'll be on Saturday and Sunday. And then after that, I think I've got some good plans of getting out some more content and doing some more videos on helping people get from text broker to being a content marketing team lead of a prominent web hosting company. And all the steps that you need to take to be that successful. And I would like to do more WordPress stuff. I know they don't get a lot of attention on my blog, but I think I like doing them mostly because it gives me something to point at for like my dad who doesn't know WordPress at all, and he's got his own website, so when he asks me stuff I can just point him to my video. So but I would like to do some more of those, and I think I might have my client talked into doing more of those as well, so that might be fun because their videos are way easier to do than mine. Like with my videos, I have to go through and I edit. The reason why there's a ton of jump cuts in my videos is because it's hard for me to keep a straight train of thought, and I stutter a lot, or I can't find the right words, or I say something wrong, or I sneeze, cough, or the cat claws me, or whatever. So there's a lot of jump cuts, and it takes me about, well, let's see, I did the gaming video, which was completely different. It took me 4.5 hours to record, edit, and upload a 10-minute video. With these on Writer Sanctuary, it takes me about 2.5 to 3 hours. That's to record and then edit and then upload. So it's kind of time consuming when I'm trying to get everything else done. And their videos, though, last time I did one of theirs, it took me less than an hour. So that'd be kind of fun. I would love to get more videos out like that. So looking forward to it. But for myself, I do want to get at least. My goal is to do 8 blog posts per blog each month, and it might sound like a lot, but for me, it's nothing. I just need to sit down and do it. And that's where the problem lies. But you know, I'm starting over. Or again, you are very critical of yourself. Yes. There you go. I am very critical of myself. There'll be times when I will come up with a great story, and some people say that they like it, and then in my frame of mind I'm thinking, you're only saying that because I know you, and so I don't like it. I'll just wind up deleting it and throwing it away. And I made a video about that recently, and instead of letting the audience decide, I decide. And it's not a good way to do it for yourself, you know. It's like I'm way different from my clients than I am with myself. I think mostly it's because I focus on so much on being perfect for my clients. Or maybe I take some of that in with me when I'm looking at my own stuff and I'm thinking, this isn't perfect, and so it's not good enough to submit, and so I'll delete it. Or I'm just picky. I don't know. I think I just confused myself. Okay. It's gonna be one of them nights. Coffee. Oh, but yeah, it's I've got goals, I've got plans, and it's nothing I can't handle. I probably won't be able to do as many of the gaming videos, only because they do take so long to do. But I will be able to do more Writer Sanctuary videos, so I just need to sit down and do them. And now that I'm kind of getting everything out of the way and dealing with losing everybody, I should be able to get back into that. So I'm pretty excited. I got some really cool ones coming up. Not sure about Steemit. It's not really a writing site. It's more like a social media hub that will pay you for interacting with people. Uh-oh. Did I bump? Okay. If I touch my microphone, it blanks out. Or it resets my computer and goes to blue screen of death. So, yeah. Anyway. But anyway, Steemit is a cryptocurrency social media hub. And so, like, whenever you engage or you upvote or downvote or interact with someone's content, you get paid for it. And I was looking at it, and I'm kind of on the fence about cryptocurrency in general, only because I've been asked, will you write this blog post for me if I pay you in Bitcoin? Like, I don't use Bitcoin. I can't take Bitcoin to Safeway or the gas station. So that's where all my money goes when I'm paid as a freelance writer, is bills. And so I do see the potential of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but from a freelance writer who's trying to make money, I don't know. It might be something that's worthwhile if you want to save up for like retirement or save up for something big for like a car or whatever. But practical wise, I'd rather spend my time either writing on Textbroker or with my client or blogging, really. There's a lot of blog posts that I have on some of my websites that have paid out more in AdSense over time than Textbroker would. So like if I write a 1,500 word post, or okay, let's make it easy. If I write a 1,000 word post in Textbroker, I'll get paid $14 if it's from the open pool. I've got some articles on my blogs dating back from 2016 that are about 1,000 words long that have paid out $30, $40, $50 so far, and that's just over time. So that's one of the big reasons why I prefer blogging over going to content mills, is because the content mills will pay you in the immediate, but if you write a really good post, then you'll make way more money in the long term. So it's kind of a balance. So I'll do both. I'll do like Textbroker to make a quick few bucks here and there. But then I'll do a lot of blogs that are really in-depth tutorials and stuff that'll wind up generating quite a bit over time. So, you got to diversify yourself. I have no idea where I was going with that. How the hell did that even start? Oh, I was talking about cryptocurrency. Duh. But anyway, with cryptocurrency. So yeah, when they offered to pay me in Bitcoin, I'm like, I can't. This was back right before it boomed. So I was kind of thinking to myself, well, I should have took that. But now that I see it sink back down, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I needed money, and I don't want to have to spend the time of getting cryptocurrency and then converting it to US dollars, putting it into my account, and then spending it that way. Normally, if a client pays me, or if I get paid for a promoted post on the website, I get the money immediately, so I can pay bills or buy food or do whatever, because I have a PayPal debit card. So everything's in PayPal. I just swipe my card and ta-da. With cryptocurrency, it's a bit of a longer road to get the money out. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not too keen on Steemit. It might be something kind of fun. You'll see it. I'll hopefully get the video out this week. But it's kind of bland. Think of Facebook if they were to pay you. It's kind of like that, except without the design. It's kind of minimalist, and I'm one of those type of people that like the glitz and glamour of a nicely designed website. It's the fancier it is, yeah, I'm attracted to that kind of stuff. I'm one of those statistic people. So if it looks nice, then and keeps me engaged, I'll keep using it. With Steemit, it's kind of minimalist. It's a lot of white space, and I know that a lot of people say, use your white space. White space is good. And I don't like it. I don't like looking at it. So I don't know. You might like it. It's not bad, but there's a lot better things out there I'd rather spend my time on. It's like the hour it takes me to make a few cents messing around on Steemit, I could take that hour and make $15-20 on Textbroker. So it's one of those things where you don't go into it thinking Steemit's going to pay you bank. Go into it as to be social, essentially. Instead of doing Facebook for 2 hours, do 1 hour on Facebook and an hour on Steemit. So you get a little bit of money on top of that. It doesn't have the engagement though, you know, and you can like people and reply to people and comment, but it doesn't have that sense of family connection that you can make with friends and family on Facebook. But I don't know, you'll see. Maybe you'll like it. I'm not a fan, but not everybody's going to like everything. So another one I want to do really soon is constant content. And constant content is it's not necessarily a content mill. Well, it kind of is, but it's not. Instead of like TextBroker, where you'll have like a bunch of jobs available that you can pick from the open pool or join teams, with constant content, you're more of, you can write whatever you want and submit it to the website, and then clients buy it off of you from that. So you have complete control over the content. The problem with that, though, is that you need to write something that's going to engage the client, that they're going to want to buy that from you. So you'd have to put in way more effort, I think, to create a style and a good flow to make a sale on constant content. Now the trade-off, though, is that with constant content you can make a ton more money than you can on TextBroker, because each article, instead of like making $10-14 on it, you could probably sell an extended license on constant content for closer to 20 or 30, and so you can double, triple your money on it. I've seen a lot of people make a lot more money on constant content than I did on TextBroker, and that's saying something, because I used to make bank. So it's a cool system. The editors are they do a lot of the same stuff that TextBroker does. Like you'll get, when you submit your article, they'll send it back with, can you fix this? This is wrong. That's wrong. Fix this grammatical problem. Stuff like that. It's the same thing editors do on TextBroker. But you can't submit, like when you submit your piece, it won't save to the system until you make all those changes and make their editors happy. But like I said, there's a lot more potential there to make money, especially if you're really good at what you do and you write about trending topics that clients are looking for. Because you just can't write whatever you want and then submit it and expect to get rich. If you write something that's like obsolete, or if you're like, say you're doing a review on the Sega Genesis from the 1990s, no one's going to buy it. Well, I can't say nobody. There might be a retro website out there that might look at it, but the odds are better if you put in the effort to create something that's more trending and something that's higher on topic. Why don't you do a tutorial on constant content? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that I'm going to do a first look video on it probably this week or maybe next. It's next on my list of things to do, because I wanted to finish off Steemit and then do one on constant content right after it and show you the steps of signing up and submitting it. And the last time I used constant content, it's been a few years, so there's been a lot of different changes to it. So that's why I'm kind of calling it a first look, but not really. Kind of like the same thing I did with Vocal Media, where I've done it before, but now there's been all these changes, so I'm still kind of experiencing it for the first time. But yeah, I kind of like the system. It's different. You can sell licenses, different types of licenses. So you can sell like a temporary thing, or someone can buy it outright, and you can set different prices on it. So it's really cool. It's an awesome idea, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that. I just need to find something that's trending that might be worthwhile. I'll still submit whatever, but it's a cool system. And there's a few others that are been suggested that I want to look at too, and I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I did write them down. And those I hope will be going through November. Probably too late to make any money for Christmas, but you never know. I'm like, if you can get on TextBroker right now and crank out some work, you can probably get some good Christmas money out of it. So it might still be worthwhile. But like with hub pages and Vocal Media, where you have to hit a threshold before you get a payout, don't plan on using that for Christmas this year. I still have to write some content for that. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I calculated that the way I was generating money in Vocal Media, I can claim my $100 in 20 years. But, you know, if you added more content to it, you'd probably get paid faster. But it's still funny to realize that I'm making 2 cents a month. But I've only got 2 articles. And like that, wow, stammer. That's why I do jump cuts. But the whole premise behind any writing system, whether it's TextBroker or Constant Content, Hub Pages, Vocal Media, even Steemit, the strongest thing among the biggest thing you need to do is focus on the effort. Because without effort, you're not going to make money on anything. The more effort you put into it, the more you get out of it. Have you tried crowd content to make money? That's one of the ones I was talking about. Yeah, that one I did write down. So I'll be doing a first look on crowd content in the near future too. Crowd content, there's another one that's something writer. Not hire writers, because I did one on hire writers a while ago, and it's not a bad system. I've made money on it, but it's not worth it really. God, it starts. I can't remember if it started or ended with the word writer. There was a really good one. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up now. But yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 that I'll be doing soon. So, but crowd content's in it, constant content. Don't know if I'll do one on Upwork, only because they denied me, which is funny if you think about it, because apparently I wasn't professional enough for them. I can't remember exactly why they denied me, but I'm like, bitch, I did like 5,500 articles on TextBroker alone. I've done 8,000 pieces of content in the past 7 years. Writer Access, Writer Access isn't what I was thinking, but I have used Writer Access before in the past. Excuse me. Writer Access is one I used to use at the same time as TextBroker. So I'd write for TextBroker, and if there wasn't any work on TextBroker, I'd use Writer Access, and I'd just go back and forth every day. And back in the day, Writer Access only paid once a month, as opposed to TextBroker, who paid once a week. And it got to the point to where I started making more money on TextBroker simply because I was on so many teams and I had so many people giving me direct orders that I stopped using Writer Access. But I think I'm going to make another first look at Writer Access, because they like expanded a lot of what they do compared to when I used to use them. And there's some really cool stuff and features in it now, so I'm like kind of excited to do it. But I'll be doing that too in the near future. I was going to do just a plain review of Writer Access, but I think I'm going to do a first look video and do the whole walkthrough of submitting an article. Only because there is so many different changes to it now. So, but yeah, that's Ron. That's one of the ones that I was going to do soon. And I know I keep saying that, and I've been wanting to do the Writer Access review for a while. But before my son died, I was really getting into signing up with different contact mails to see what they had. And I came across Writer Access, and I started looking through it. And I'm like, they've got like translation things now, and God, there was one really cool one that I wanted to play around with, but it was a different way to make money with writing. Like, God, they got so many cool shit now. So that's definitely on my list. And that's why I moved. I was going to do just a review on it, but then I found out they had way more to it than when I used to use it. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a first look. So, God, I wish I remember what that one was. I have it saved in Asana somewhere. I'll have to look at it. Look through. It's planned, so I know I've got it set up somewhere. But yeah, there's a bunch coming up, and it's really weird because I'm not really using any of these systems to make any money, because I make more than enough with Green Geeks. But it's still kind of cool to go through and see what you can do with them. And I am going to go back to doing at least maybe 1 or 2 TextBroker articles a week, just so I can keep up with what they're doing. And I still have to sign up with Payoneer, because TextBroker is moving from PayPal to Payoneer. And so I did a little bit of looking, and Payoneer is just essentially cheaper for bulk. So that's probably why they're moving. I'm not too thrilled about it, because with like with The way it's set up now is that if I submit my article on Thursday, Textbroker pays me on Friday. As soon as my money hits my PayPal account, I have a debit card. I can go shopping. That's what I did for 7.5 years. So for them to move to Payoneer, I don't know. Little on the fence about that. Have you experienced writer's block? And if yes, what do you do to solve that? Oh yeah, not just writer's block. I've also experienced burnout. And I was, check my microphone. There you go. Every time I even touch it, I have to check to make sure it's still recording. Okay, with writer's block, when I'm being creative, I don't know, there's times where I'll sit and I'll stare at a story for like forever, try to think of how am I going to get past this one spot, and it's almost like I let the story unfold. I let it do its own thing. Instead of trying to force something to happen in a story, I let it run. And so a lot of times it'll take on a whole new life of its own. Like there's a couple, god damn it. Yeah, okay. There's a couple of stories in 7 that did that, where I wanted them to go a completely different way, but when I started writing, I just let it start going on its own, and the story turned into something completely different, which was for the better, I think. Now, when it comes for clients, though, I don't know. I guess it all depends on the client, really. I'm trying to remember last time I've had writer's block. There's been a few times on Textbroker in the past where I'd accept an order and I'll have an idea of where it's going to go, and then my mind will just go completely blank, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. At that moment, I will often stop. I'll take a break, get up, walk around. I find that playing the Xbox Kinect, I do a lot of exercise in front of the Kinect, or going for a walk. That's one big thing that helped me out in the early days of Textbroker. Was I would get up and I'd go for a walk. I'd walk for about a mile at a good clip at about 3.5, 4 miles an hour. So it's a pretty fast-paced walk. By the time I get back, my mind would be far more clear, and I would be able to sit down and focus a lot better. So that's how I dealt with it in the beginning. Nowadays, I think maybe because I'm always exercising now, maybe I don't get writer's block as often because I'm always constantly moving. And there's a lot of studies out there that state how physical activity improves brain power, which I'm a big, strong proponent of. And there's all kinds of scientific evidence I can point to demonstrate it. But so when you're physically active, you're also improving your mental capacity. So that's one of the big things I try to push, is that I'm not trying to lose weight just so I look like a supermodel or a superhero. I found that being physically active has helped me think on my feet and doing work for clients, and so it's been a big difference. So I'd say exercise and just maybe taking a break. The hot tub. I love my. I don't have a hot tub, but I have a jacuzzi tub in my bathroom, so I have the jets that go. Oh, it's so relaxing. Try not to push it. Like, don't try to force something. Just let it morph into its own. So it really depends on if you're being creative or if you're doing work for clients. I guess it works either way, because even when I get stuck on some of the spots when I'm writing 7, if I get up and move around and just take my mind off it for a moment, then everything kind of clicks back into place. So try that. Yeah, that's what works for me. Now as for burnout, that's a completely different story. There's been times when I was working for Textbroker where I'd be I'm just done, because you come across some clients that you just can't really work with, but you need the money, and it gets better because you get to a point where you can start denying clients because you don't like them, and that's when you start feeling good about yourself because you're like, I'm successful enough where I don't need this crap. So But in the earlier days, I've had to deal with some clients that were just, you think to yourself, what the hell am I doing? And so, and there's times where I would get upset and I'd be looking at the blogs, and if the blogs aren't performing well, I'll start feeling down on myself, and I start thinking, if I just dump all of this crap and just go back to writing and not worry about doing the manager stuff, I could like triple my income. I added it up one day. So that's where I hit my burnout points. But then I start thinking, I love doing what I do, and I love doing the YouTube videos. I love blogging. I don't make a lot of money on the blogs. YouTube, I haven't got I do get a little bit of something from the coffees that people buy me, and I had one recently that was just really cool. Let's see if I can find out who it was. Where did the dilly go? I don't know. No. Where was it? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, I've had a few people buy me coffee recently. That is really cool. It's kind of like a like Patreon, where people can donate like 3, 6, or 9. Essentially, it's $3 per coffee, and so people donate and buy me coffee, which is great because I put that money towards getting better equipment for the YouTube streams. So that's the only money I make off of YouTube. So yeah, I don't make a lot of money on it. Don't make hardly anything anymore on the blogs because Google screwed me. The Twitch channel is kind of fun because I figure I'm playing games anyway, might as well hit the stream button. And a lot of the money I generate from that goes to charities. But it's all, I don't really do it for all that though. I should ask in an email, but can you confirm you did 100,000 words a day? I'm doing a textbooker now, not much more than a recap. 350 words takes an hour, 1,200 words a day for $22. Okay, yep. I've never done 100,000 words in a day. My goal was 10,000 words, and on average, I can do anywhere between 11 and 1,300 words an hour. And that completely depends on the topics. So like with the teams that I used to write to with on the blog team, because those articles are like stupid easy. So essentially they give you a keyword and tell you as long as the content matches the flow that's on this website, write whatever you want. And with those I could crank out really stupid fast because I can already type it 68 words a minute. And then you got to figure in research time because every article I write does research, and so it averages about 1,200 words an hour. So, but yeah, that's I don't know if I've ever said that I've ever done 100,000 words in a day. My cap is 10,000. 100,000 words is like, wow. I don't know if I could do that. That'd be 10,000 words in an 8-hour stretch. There's no way. Yeah. I'm not that fast, but that was my goal, was 10,000 words. So yeah, I wouldn't always hit my 10,000 word goal, but it would be on my goal, my spreadsheet. And another goal that I would have is to have to make $120 a day. I think was my cap. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Those are like my beginning goals. Wow, 1,200? Okay. No, it must have been 10,000. Yeah, because I don't know if I ever said 100,000. I am completely sorry. There's no way in hell I could do 100,000 words a day. Yeah, my goals are 10,000, and with the work that I'm doing now, I can almost hit that. But then, like the YouTube videos, I don't have any words in the YouTube videos that count. So I think I meant 10,000. Okay. Yeah, that I'd hope so. Because 100,000, that's a lot. I don't know how to prove to you that I did 10,000. I'll show you my spreadsheet. because I would write down what I would do on my spreadsheet is I would keep track of the moment I started writing until the moment that I stopped. You have to go to the bathroom, because as a writer for TextBroker, you're not paid. You're paid for production. So if you get up to go to the bathroom, or you go up to get lunch, or you go outside for a smoke or whatever, you're not getting paid for it. You're only getting paid for every word you type. And so I would keep track of everything that I started. So I'd hit the time, say I start off at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd write for maybe an hour and a half before I got up and had to stretch my leg. And in that time, I would write down how many words I've typed, how many orders I did, how much money I made. And so with that, I was able to keep track of all the different, how many words I could type in a day. But as to prove it, I'm not really sure how to do that. It gets easier. Let's see, 300 words, 350 words takes an hour. A lot of times, I've seen a lot of authors do this, where they start off, like I did it at the very beginning. You start off thinking, you start overthinking the piece. So you'll start off thinking that it has to be perfect, pristine, use big terminology, and you reread it and reread it and reread it over and over and over, and you put way too much emphasis on it. My dad does this a lot. So he'll take a 350 word article and take 24 hours to write the one piece. And I'm like, for most content mills, your production. That's content mill. It means you do it fast. And so he's putting way too much effort into it. I did it at the very beginning. I would take my time and make sure everything was pristine. And TextBroker came back and started telling me that my writing was too clinical and that I needed to add more personality to it. So once I started loosening up, and I dumped all the high level terminology, because most of your people aren't going to be college level readers, and stop putting so much effort into making everything just perfect, pristine. It just gets so much easier. Yeah, those teams. Well, I wanted to ask about those teams, and I plain missed them when you said just now. So they were blog teams? Yes. I think that's the exact name of them, actually. Is there... Whoop. Uh-oh. That was a hard hit. Okay. Didn't lose my microphone. The blog teams, there's two that you can apply for. One is the really simple. That's the one I was making like $20 an hour doing, because they were so easy, so fast. They didn't have a lot of requirements to it. You can pretty much write whatever you wanted off the top of your head. They were 450 word articles that you can crack out in like 20 minutes or less. And so I would just rip through them like you wouldn't believe. And as soon as they would drop like 1,000 at a time. Unfortunately, there's also like 1,200 other authors on that team, so you have to be fast if you want to make money. And then the second one is more of an advanced version of that. It's the same, I think it's the same client. It's the same managed team client, but with more detail behind the articles. They're still really easy to do, though. But I think if you look for blog teams, I think it's in the list there in TextBroker. And then the AD miscellaneous team, those are pretty easy. You get a mask that you put everything into, and you just write subject matter about whatever's on the client list. I was on a level 5 team once. That was pretty cool. As a 4-star. They added me to a 5-star team because they were short writers, and I'm really good. But they added me anyway, and that was an awesome team. I used to make like $250 a day on that team. That was great. Didn't last very long. I guess the client moved on because they haven't produced work or shown up work for like years. But for like 6 months, I was making a lot of money. It was awesome. A lot of research in it, though. You had to go through and break down the chemical composition, the ingredients, essentially, of like fitness drinks and stuff. So you'd have to do a ton of research and cite all of the different places. Like if something has a certain ingredient to it, you'd have to provide the scientific evidence to prove that that stuff actually does what they claim. So there's a lot of research to it, but you're getting paid a lot of money to do it. So it was awesome. Well, I appreciate talking about it. It's been on my mind for a while, so cool. Awesome. Yeah. Ain't no problem. That's what I'm here for. And if you ever have any question for anything, even if it doesn't relate to a video that you just watched, feel free to ask. I'm pretty open to any comment on any video. So, buy a copy. Hey, I just did. And like I said in one on my blog post, is I'm probably one of the few people on Buy Me a Coffee that actually uses the donations I get to buy coffee. So, yeah, thank you much. But if there's anything you ever want to know, feel free to comment on any video. It doesn't matter if it matches the content or not. If whatever pops in your mind, leave a message. I try to respond to every comment that I get, and when I have a channel as small as mine, that's pretty easy to do. So I don't respond to like weird ones when you start leaving your email addresses directly. You know, there's protocol I like to follow. Oh, here's something that's kind of cool. Someone used they didn't use my contact form. They must have emailed me directly from YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a link there to send me an email. So if there's something more in depth that you want that you don't want everybody else to know, I do have an email link in the channel about page, I think it is, and those I get directly. And so if you would rather use those instead of just announcing your problems or whatever to the world, that's there for that. Contact form on writersanctuary.com's website's also the same email address. It comes to me too. So yeah, if you want something more private, you can use those. But anyway, someone sent me a message and they wanted to interview me on their YouTube channel. So I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Didn't think I was that important. What sources would you suggest to improve writing? It depends on the writing you want to do. Like with AP Style, there are a ton of different places online that you can learn better AP Style writing for like clients and stuff. Most places nowadays are going to demand AP Style. And a lot of colleges now are moving towards AP Style and dumping Oxford because of how prominent AP Style is. And so there's like a ton of different places. And I did a video recently, or not recently, but a few months ago about some of the, I think it was 5 websites that help. And someone left a link on, I think that video. I have another one. Let me see if I can find that. I could just go ahead and give it a link. Okay, give me a second here. My channel. These are, I can't remember offhand exactly what sources I learned from in the very beginning, because that was like 7.5 years ago. Essentially though, what I did was I got onto Google and did a lot of Google research on specific problems, especially from stuff that Textbroker told me I needed to fix, like comma usage. That was my biggest downfall for like a year and a half. Videos. So I'd research comma usage, semicolons, hyphens, abbreviations. That's something that's big, that's completely different in AP Style. So Google is your friend, but let me see if I can find that video for you. What if it'll let me add the link? And so free versus paid. 5 great places to learn AP Style as a freelance writer. There we go. That was in May. Copy that. Okay, so here's the video that I did for 5 great places that you can learn AP Style writing. And another good one is Grammarly. I installed the Grammarly Chrome extension, and you can get a free account at Grammarly. It doesn't go into high-level details unless you get the paid version, but the free version, if you copy and paste your stuff into it, will break down a lot of stuff. And what I like about Grammarly is that it'll give you explanations as to why you need to change certain things. So the same with the Chrome extension. Thanks a lot. Oh, you're very welcome. The same with the Chrome extension. If you have Chrome and you install it on the Chrome extension from Grammarly, any field that you can type in on the internet, Grammarly will scan through and give you suggestions on how to fix it, tell you why it's being fixed, and it's really cool. Like right now, if I click into the description field of my video that I just shared, Grammarly will scan through and show me. See, I can see advanced corrections if I paid the premium fee, but it's really cool. So like it works perfect in WordPress, any field that you type on, as long as it's not like, I think you can't do it on like lightboxes in JavaScript, but for the most part, a lot of places you can. So a lot of places you can. But there's some of that. If you're looking for creative writing, though, that's a completely different monster. Doing novels doesn't center around AP style. It's mostly Oxford is what a lot of publishers look for, and the two are completely different. And so it takes a little effort to bounce which one you want to use. I saw some classes on like Udemy for both AP style writing and creative writing, and I am debating on doing some classes of my own for AP style, and I've had a lot of people express interest in it, and I think some of the future videos I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing examples and helping people how to learn how to write in AP style. It's not all that hard. There's just a lot to it, and so I understand like when it took me a year and a half to break out of the whole comma usage issue, and so I would like to do some more videos like that. I've had a few people ask me, so I figure I don't know if I'll do a Udemy class really, but more of just probably a playlist on YouTube. So that'll be coming out soon. I'm not sure when, only because there's so many other projects I got going on, but I would like to do it though. So hopefully, if you need any additional help, always feel free to comment or send me an email. I'll do what I can. Now, yeah. There's been a few inquiries about whether I would take the time to analyze someone's work and then give them critique on it, and I'll do that to an extent. You just gotta keep in mind that I'm usually, if I stick to my schedule, I am an incredibly busy person. So I'll try to help as best I can, but it's not like a common thing. So, but I feel I can help out. If it's something that you're like, you have an hour left to submit it and you need some help, I don't know if I can help you inside of an hour because I might not get to it by then. But if you ever need help on pointing out some of the things that you need to fix in an article, you can always send an email. I've had a lot of people use the contact form for that. And I've had a few people contact me on Facebook, and I'm not nearly as active on Facebook as I should be. But I'm hoping to change all that. I try to be somewhat active on Twitter, but Twitter is more of like a fun little chat thing. I don't really pay a lot of attention to Twitter. I mostly pay more attention to the Facebook Messenger. Duh. Or I definitely pay close attention to all the comments on my videos. So if you ever leave a comment, it pops up on my screen while I'm working because I have my browser open at all times. And so as soon as I see that pop up, I usually try to respond to those as soon as I get them. So have you ever considered giving writing classes for freelancers, paid classes? Yeah, that's what I was stuck about. I was thinking about doing that on like Udemy or there's a couple other ones. There was one my dad was going to use for doing artwork, and I was debating on using the system he was going to use, but I think I like Udemy better. And there's a lot of, I think I'm getting closer to doing something like that. It's probably one of the biggest reasons why I haven't yet is because I still battle with imposter syndrome. And that's when you start feeling that you're not good enough, even though you clearly are. And so I'm still kind of fighting through all that. I'm getting better with it. I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be, but it's really hard to get over. And I think that's why I haven't done it yet, because I've been helping people learn how to write since, wow, like 2 years after I started. And I've seen some writers go on to be far superior to me. So I set them on the right track. And that makes me feel good. And so I started thinking about it recently. I'm like, it doesn't, I have everything I need to set up a Udemy class. And I probably wouldn't charge like a lot for it either. I'd go through and see what everybody else is charging. But a lot of times I am a philanthropist. I always have been. Like I'll run a business. I'll make money out of business, but my employees and my customers come first. So it's really hard for me to rack up charges on stuff so that I can just make more money because I really don't need it. And so it's really hard for me to come up with a good price for stuff. So a lot of times I like undercut the shit out of my stuff. God, I'm so phlegmy today. So that's something I'm probably going to have to get a friend of mine to help me with, but at least to price the stuff fair. Because if it was up to me, I'd just do it for free. Because that's what I do on YouTube. So, but yeah, it's been on my mind. There's been a few times where I looked at a few plugins for Writer Sanctuary.com, my website. I can easily set classes up on that. I was also thinking about setting up a forum of some kind. And another thing, I'm toying with the idea of setting up a community on Writer Sanctuary so that we have more of an open forum for people who want to learn how to write, like freelance writers or even novelists. Because I do come from a family of writers, so I can definitely get some insights from some published people. And so I was thinking about doing something like that because I think a community would be kind of fun. And that would all be free. But for the classes, it's going to be one of those, I can do it, I don't know. I don't know if I would feel comfortable charging people money to share my knowledge since I really didn't spend any money to gain it. Because I went to college for graphic design and computer animation. This is nowhere near what I went to college for. I've just always been a writer ever since I was 12 years old. I submitted a manuscript to Doubleday Publishing back in the day. I still remember that too. And I got my rejection letter. It crushed me. But I've been a writer ever since. And my career choices have taken me all over the place. I found that I had a knack for computer hardware A+ setup. And but I was always a writer of some kind. And so after I had to shut down the computer center, I just threw all my effort into writing. But all of that, everything I've ever learned, I gained all from Google. I did Google research, looked up ways to do stuff, done a ton of articles on SEO, mostly for my client. And I keep track with all the trends, and it's just, I feel weird charging people money to gain knowledge that I didn't have to pay money for. And it's going to be one of those, I don't know how the hell to handle it. But I don't know, we'll see. It's definitely one of those ideas that I wanted to do. Like I keep getting, when I'm watching YouTube at night, I see master classes coming up and I see some authors and all that, and I'm like, it could be on there somewhere. Probably not master class, but definitely Udemy. And what I like about Udemy is that you don't have to really charge a lot for it. Like I've seen some people, I know one person in particular who does yoga classes, and she doesn't charge an arm and a leg for them, and she's got a lot of cool information. So I don't know, maybe that may be something I could get more serious about. I don't know, and then I start thinking, but what if I suck? That's where the problem is that you start thinking to yourself that you're not good enough, and then you start talking yourself out of stuff. And if I wasn't so hard on myself, I could probably be far more successful. Now, there's no probably about it. I would be. But then I'm just, I get so hard on everything I do. I need to take a step back and just let other people judge me and quit judging myself. That's a conversation for another time. And I'm out of coffee. Shit. Anyway, what else we doing? There's a lot of things I want to do. I love doing freelance writing, and I love managing my team. And we almost doubled our traffic in the past 6 months, and that's like tens of thousands of visitors. But there's times where I'm like, I want to go past the freelance writing, and I would love to look at my bookshelf and see my name on the spine of a book. And I can do both. I need to put more effort into it, because I think I am a decent writer, at least decent enough to get published. I mean, I've read some poor stuff on like Amazon and shit that I'm like, wow, I could do so much better. So I would like to do more of that, but which is kind of weird because, you know, I gain a lot of my subscribers from the Textbroker content, and that's great. I love helping people with Textbroker. Textbroker's a great system, especially if you work it. And I want to help people make more money from home doing stuff like that, but there's like, I would love to move a little bit past that, you know. But I don't want to lose all the subscribers I gain from Textbroker, so kind of like trying to balance the two together. So hopefully I don't make a mess of my channel in the next year. But I'm definitely doing more with Textbroker, constant content, writer access. I'm going to be doing all those. So, but if you guys have any more suggestions, or if you want me to look at something more specific or more in depth, feel free to leave a comment or send a message, email, Facebook, or Twitter. Hell, even if I'm on Twitch playing a game, stop by and ask me a question there. I'll answer it, even if it's not related to the game. That's just the type of person I am. It sounded like you were going to take a writing class on Udemy. Oh no. At one point I was thinking about it, mostly for the creative writing stuff. I wanted to do a writing class on Udemy, and I was thinking about taking a master class for more of the creative stuff. But I don't know. It's like last year I wanted to get into master class and see what it could do for me as an author. And because I'm pretty sure I still have a lot of rough edges I need to hammer out before I can call myself an author. But I don't know. I've read some stuff by some people that, and I'm not just tooting my own horn, I'm definitely better than. I guess I can't really say that though, because every audience is going to be different. So like, someone who likes one author isn't going to like another, and so maybe the way that person writes is great for their audience, which is what it's all about. So I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence. God, is it just me, or do I sound like I'm confusing? It's been a month. But yeah, I'd like to post some writing classes on Udemy, at least for the AP style stuff. And someone suggested, it might have been Ron, someone suggested that I should do some classes on Udemy for Textbroker, and that I could probably do very well. I've been with Textbroker for 7.5 years. I've done 5,587 pieces of content, 3 rejections, 2 of them wasn't even my fault. And so I think I have a bit of an expertise in it. So I might be able to do some good classes with that. But then I started thinking, immediately, as soon as I brought that up, immediately my mind was going, yeah, but you haven't wrote for Textbroker in months. And what if your classes aren't helping anybody? And what if you lead somebody astray? Or what if someone follows your advice and fails and just, ugh. Sometimes I wish it was something you could turn off, you know? Because it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. It's counterproductive. And I know in my heart that I help people and that I'm really good at what I do. But then I just start worrying about stuff before I even start. and it just makes everything so much worse. And I see a lot of writers do that too. Like earlier, we were talking about how it takes some, like Joel. He mentioned how it takes takes him an hour to do 350 words. And I see a lot of writers will do that because they put way too much emphasis on trying to be perfect, and so it takes them way longer to do a piece of content. And 350 words I can do inside less than 15 minutes. Well, it depends on the piece, but usually between 15 and 20 for 350 words. And in the beginning, though, I can relate to Joel because I was trying so hard to make sure that it was something that you could see in like the New York Times or in a magazine, or something that you'd see on Washington Post or whatever. And so I was trying really, really hard to emulate all those writers. And that's not how you do it. It's more, if you add your own personality to it and you relax a bit, things just flow out really easy. And so I know I can help people. I just sometimes you get in that frame of mind, you start doubting yourself, and everything just kind of falls apart. And then people stop trusting you because you have self-doubt. That's the way life is. And no one's perfect. Everybody has issues. It just depends on the degree. Some of mine are pretty heavy. But I'm a lot better than I was, though. So I think I am going to probably start looking into doing those. Posting some classes. I don't know if I might do Udemy, but like I said, posting classes on my blog gives me far more control over everything, and then I don't have to worry about splitting the fees or anything. I have way more control over what I can post, and so I might do that instead, but I'll have to look. But if anybody ever has any questions, feel free. Like I said, even if I'm playing on as Colorado Plays on Twitch, I play a lot of hardcore Minecraft. So like, if you ever have a question, you see that I'm on, feel free to ask, because I'll answer. Oop, crap! I gotta check the microphone again, and it's working. Okay. But yeah, so I think we covered a lot tonight. It's funny. I started off so solemn, and then I feel so much better. Seeing the traffic bounce back and forth between 5 and 8. Is there anything else I wanted to go over tonight? Got stuff coming. Talked about why Better Way. If anybody needs any help, you know where to find me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, because I pay pretty close attention to everything. Well, kinda. There's been a few times when people messaged me on Facebook that I would take forever to get to, or I guess this is kind of I guess this what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of my mind is mush. There's been a few times in the last couple of weeks I didn't get to emails fast enough, but I think it's kind of justified because of all the things I've gone through since October 1st. But I will try my hardest to respond to any messages I get. So I get them all. I just depends on when I can reply to them. And I've got a few from like the 24th last week. I think that was the day before I lost my friend. Yeah, on the 23rd is when my friend died. And so anything after that has been kind of on the back burner, and I'm trying to get back into getting everything back together. So there's that. Alrighty. This has been a awesome evening. I think I'm gonna wrap it up if nobody has any more questions for today. I like to do these every other week. Okay. Joel. Okay, I'll break it down. I get the source file and highlight the key points, then piece the article from those. Reading and highlighting is 15 minutes, writing 25 minutes, proofing and publishing 10 minutes. Probably. Oh, I saw your message. Haha. I would say reading and highlighting. What I normally do with reading and highlighting is what I'll skim through an article. I won't necessarily read the whole thing, but I'll skim through to get the gist of it. And then instead of highlighting the article I am reading on for research, I will take those key points and research those instead in Google and find even more. So I kind of go way beyond just one piece. But let's see, on average, you could spend about 7.5 minutes just reading an article. The audio's... Uh-oh. Is it working? Yeah. I just got a warning from YouTube saying that the audio stream current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Don't know what that means. I've never had that problem before. But anyway, you might be spending too much time reading and highlighting maybe. Takes about 15 minutes to write, so that's about right. If you take about 15 minutes. Maybe try to cut that down instead of reading the whole page. Try skimming through something and see how it works for you. Like for me, skimming through content, I got to be kind of a pro at it, but I've been doing it for a very long time. So it does take practice, but if you can get it down to where you just skim through an article, you could turn a 7-minute read into like less than 2 minutes and still get the gist of it. And then you take that information and then convert it into your own words while still trying to be factual. So that's where it kind of gets a little wonky, because you still have to do the research to make sure you're accurate on your information. So try to cut down, try to cut your things down, like typing. Like for me, 350 words, I actually can type that in about, 5 minutes? But I'm also an extremely fast typist. Try practicing on typing and see if there's any way you can do shortcuts to help you remember stuff, or maybe find a different way to type faster. Yeah. Try to come up with different ways to do research. Like one of my biggest things is having the second monitor. I've got 2 monitors here. So I'll throw up all my research on one and I'll type on the other. So like when I'm typing, I can just look at the research and get all the facts I need without even stopping the typing. So that made a huge difference on my time. Like it cut my research time down in half, because now I don't have to switch back and forth in tabs on my monitor. And you don't realize just how much time you're consuming when you're clicking through tabs until you do it on a second monitor, because then you can just throw everything up on one side and type on one. So that made a huge difference. There's been a few times where I'd use my tablet in front of me to do research on while I'm typing. So I'll look down at the tablet and kind of go through it, and then keep typing on the main screen. It's another one so yeah, I'd say practice more typing. See if there's any way you can cut your research time down. Find different ways, different things that flow well for you. Practice makes perfect. It took me a while. Like for the longest time, I only had the one monitor, so I still had to go back and forth between tabs. It was a major pain in the ass. And then I was able to get one of my second monitors up on my desk, and ever since then, it's, holy crap, did it make a difference. So like when I go to hotels, and I'll set my laptop and I'll be typing, and I'll have to plug it into the TV at the hotel because I've got to have that second monitor now. I can do without, but it made a huge difference. I'm trying to remember what else you had there, because you deleted your message. But yeah, just keep practicing. When I first started, I didn't do 10,000 words a day. I was lucky to do 500 when I first started, because there was only like 1 or 2 articles a day. it's when you start getting into a nice flow. Don't try to compare yourself to other people, because you start setting yourself up for failure. If you try to compete with somebody who's done it for a very long time, who has thousands and thousands of articles under their belt across the world, you really are kind of shortchanging yourself. Work on improving your own abilities and getting faster with yourself. So essentially compete with yourself. If you do 350 words an hour, tomorrow strive for 400. Strive for 450. Do what you can to cut time down. Don't compare yourself to what I do or what any other YouTubers do, because everybody's going to be different. And what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. So you got to find your own groove to help you get into the perfect flow. 15 read, highlight, 25 type, 10 prove and publish. Okay. How do you manage your time, especially when you worked on Dexbroker? How do I manage my time? That's a good question. I wish I had a good answer. I am so thirsty. So when I first started, my time management skills kind of sucked, and they still kind of do. So I would start working for the school district at about, I think it was at 8. I'd get home at about 5, and then from like 6 to 8 I would try doing Dexbroker. And so that was pretty easy to do, because I had a work schedule. I had a real work schedule. But then when I was making so much money, and I was able to quit the school district, then I had to start forcing myself to work to make more money to replace my income, which was easy because most of my clients were business-minded clients anyway, and so their open times were from 8 to 5. Maybe some coffee. Thank you. My friend Sam just brought my water. Anyway, so I would drop the girls off at school. I would come home, take my shower, and then I would treat Dexbroker exactly how I would treat any other business I ever worked at. So I'd work from 8 to 5. And since most of my businesses, or most of my clients were business-minded anyway, that was perfect for them, because then they were there at their job. And so we'd be a good flow of communication, which is great. So that worked out great for a while. But now I've added in the 3 blogs, the 3 YouTube channels, Twitch, Green Geeks, and then trying to publish my own stuff. Now that right there is a mess of trying to organize, because I want everything to try to get enough attention, but I'm not giving enough attention to all the stuff that matters. And I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a mess, but I think I got a good flow going. So I work for my client from a block of time. I use Asana right now. Asana is a great tool. I have a block of time set aside for Green Geeks, and then each day I focus on another block of time for one blog, and then YouTube, and then today I scheduled in my stream for YouTube, live stream, and then tomorrow I have Green Geeks again, and then I have Writer's Sanctuary's blog, and then I think I have it set up for Colorado Places blog tomorrow because of the party that I went to on Saturday. And then from 6 to 8 I stream on Twitch. And so it's all about scheduling time better. And it's taken a long time to get a good groove going, because I'd want to do so much and I don't have enough time in the day, or I'd get lazy one day or get sucked into Netflix or YouTube, and then before you know it, the day's gone. So it's really hard to sit down and block all the time that I need. And I'm getting better at it. And this week I started off strong, but then I kind of got sick to my stomach and things kind of went south. But finding free tools, like right now, Asana, you can have a free account on Asana, and you can have up to 15 people on your team for free. And that's made a huge difference recently. It keeps all the videos that I want. I put in what I want to do, and I keep track of all the different articles I want to write and all the different websites I come across. So if I come across something that's really cool, I'll throw a note in Asana, and I then schedule a block of time through Thunderbird, because that's what I use for my email client, and so I'll schedule all my days like that. So, but managing time, if you don't have a lot of stuff going on, isn't all that hard. You just gotta. It's more of trying to find the best time that works for you for engaging the clients you want. Like for me, most of my clients were business, and so that was who I was targeting. So I'd want to work the same hours they work, because then the communication is almost virtually immediate, especially on TextBroker. So they'd send a message, I'd get it and send it back, and so we'd have like a good flow. And so I wouldn't have to wait overnight for answers to questions, or if I had an issue with an order, I could just send them a text message, not text, but a in system TextBroker message. So they'd be able to respond before my time would run out to turn it in on TextBroker. So that was the type of clients I was working for. At first, I was focusing on a lot of night work because of my job at the school district, and I found that I am far more likely to create mistakes and to have to do revision requests the more tired I was throughout the night. So there's no way I could write at night, and I'm glad that I was able to make enough money to quit the school district and write full time, because then I shifted. I don't think I've done content for a client after 6 p.m. since 2013. So, but when you're trying to schedule your own time, it all depends a lot on your client and what works best for you. When are you the most alert? When are you the most energetic? When are you the most productive? Some people can be productive at night. Others, like me, are more productive in the morning. So it's all about finding the best flow for you. Like whatever you find that works, that's what makes the difference. Joel, I've been doing it for about 3 months. Practice sounds about right. Yeah, exactly. I remember that back in the day. 3 months into it, I was only making, I think I was making about $100 a week. But that's also because I was working in the school district, and by the time I'd get home at 5, wouldn't be very many jobs available on TextBroker or Writer Access. So there'd be times where I'd have like really slow days. But it all depends on what you're doing. Like nowadays, it's not nearly as slow as it used to be, and there's way more content out there now, so it's a lot easier to keep the flow going. But with 3 months in, I was still having problem with commas. I was still way too clinical, which meant that I was trying to use too many really big words. It was like I opened a thesaurus and I tried to show my professionalism and how awesome my vocabulary was. Problem is that the majority of the readers on the internet read at an 8th grade reading level, and so when you use high level terminology, it reads poorly. And I found that out the hard way, and I started moving past using big terms and started making things more simple, which was a problem even when I ran my own computer shop, because I guess I had a habit of making people feel stupid because I'd use way advanced terminology. And so that's why I hired one of my friends he was like my translator, because it wasn't my intention to make anybody feel dumb. That's how I spoke. And after having to shut that down, I brought that over into writing, and it didn't pan out well. And so I think it was about 6 months is when I stopped being really clinical and stuff. So you don't want to read like an IKEA manual. But yeah, the more practice you get, Joel, the better. Which is one of the reasons why I built WriterSanctuary.com in the first place, because then it gave me a platform to blog and put into practice everything I learned from TextBroker or from Google. And so I'd be able to create the blogs that I wanted, whatever I wanted to write, and then practicing how to use my commas and the best places to put hyphens and semicolons, and using see, I had a problem with parentheses at first. Abbreviations is another one that you have to be mindful of because they're different in AP style. The rules for, what was it? Time? It was one that was like really obscure. I've never used it before. And then I'm like, Textbooker like let me know that that's not how it was done. I'm like, what? So I had to look it up. I can't remember what it was offhand, but that's what the blog was for, is to practice writing. And so you can see if you go back to like my stuff on WriterX or WriterSanctuary.com from like 2014, you can definitely see there's a big difference in my style. I learned a lot since then. So yeah, the more practice you get, you're all the better off. It just keep working at it. Set your own goals. Don't try to compare your style to mine. Yeah, I can do 10,000 words a day, but also I've been doing this for a very long time. For the past 30 years, I've been a typist. So yeah, I'm wicked fast. Not as fast as some people out there, but and that's just me though. If you haven't done it before and you're just starting off and you're 3 months in, don't feel bad about it, because it sounds like you're on a good path. So just make sure you keep practicing. Set daily goals to beat for yourself. So instead of try doing what I did, keep track in a spreadsheet. How long it takes you to do an article from start to finish, including all the research time and typing and all that, and then see if you can beat that the next time. You don't want to push too hard and make the content come out like crap, but there are some things where the more you type, the faster you'll get, obviously. The better your strategy is at research, the quicker you will be able to do it. So there's a lot of things that go into it. So don't compare yourself. Be in competition with your own abilities. So work on faster typing. Try to cut some corners on not bad corners, but try to cut off some time from research. Find different strategies that work for you. Like with mine, the second monitor was beautiful. But if you don't have a second monitor or don't have the means to get one, try using your smartphone. Set up the smartphone on the side and use it for research instead of switching tabs. I don't know, that might be worse. So whatever works for you. But just keep practicing at it. 3 months in, that's not too bad, really. 1,200 words in a day. Like I said, I know people that can't do 350 words in a day, so you're ahead of them. It seems like that's a common problem too. I come across a lot of people that'll take the whole 24 hours to write one piece because they sit there and analyze it, overanalyze it, and analyze it some more, and just drive themselves nuts. You don't have to be so... I mean, you have to be professional, but you don't have to be so anal about it. A lot of people, there's been times where I'd write an article and I'd submit it on Textbroker, and I'd think to myself, yeah, this is coming back. And they would send me like excellent review all the way down the board. Oh, this is perfect and just what we were looking for. And one person even gave me a bonus, or gave me a tip, because they can tip in Textbroker. So they gave me bonuses and all that, and all I could think is, well, wow, because that was a crap piece. So whatever. But a lot of clients out there are just happy to get legible content. So try not to overanalyze some of the pieces that you do. I don't know if you do, but like my dad does. My dad will scrutinize the holy living bejesus out of his pieces, which you don't really need to do, but I can kind of see that you wanted to look professional, but just keep in mind that a lot of clients out there are just looking for SEO content that they can throw on their website that looks good and brings in an audience. So yeah, if that was one big piece of advice I could give, is to try not to scrutinize yourself too much, because you'll grow. It's all about growing. Find things that work best. Oh man. So now my mind is blank. I really didn't think I was going to have too many people on today, so I'm glad everybody's here. Ron, Joel, Anna, all of you who are watching. But I think I'm just about out of things to talk about today. Unless you guys have questions, I'm still here. And I'll probably answer more if you'd leave a comment, because that's how I roll. I am at my desk way too often. I can't really say that because sometimes if I'm out and about and I have my phone on me and someone leaves a comment, I'll respond. So, like I did that in Omaha. When I went to Omaha WordCamp, I had a couple of people comment on a video that I responded to all about. So, I think we covered everything for today. It feels good to get back into the swing of things. I'm really excited about the different videos I've got coming up. I think it's going to be quite therapeutic for me to get back into doing what I do. I'll still hurt for a while because I lost a child, but I can't let that overwrite my life. I need to keep going, and I will. So it's helpful to do these videos with you guys. I love helping you out. If I have answers to your questions, I'll give them. And so I think we're going to be doing good at the end of the. We're going to end 2019 on a positive note, every one of us. So just put in the effort, keep going, keep practicing, keep writing, and if you ever need anything, I'm always here. I think that if we are out of questions for today, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Maybe I'll see if I can get some soup in my stomach, because I still feel kind of queasy, but I need to eat something. I can't live off coffee alone. But I'd like to thank every one of you who supports me. And as corny as it may sound, I love y'all. And especially those who are in my corner. Thank you, Ron. Praying for you, Michael. You guys are awesome. When I started this channel a year ago, I wasn't sure what to expect. At first, I was just creating a video to add to my blog so that people could either read or watch. It's a marketing device. Wasn't planning on really getting a lot of subscribers. I just wanted something for somebody else to do on my website. And then I started getting feedback, like from Ron and Joel. Get to know, have a night? Yeah, I'll have a night. Don't know what kind of a night, but I'll have one. But it's like with Ron and Joel and Anna and everybody else who what gives me love and well wishes. It's I don't know. You guys have made this channel way more than I thought it would ever be. And yeah, I'm not even a big YouTuber, but you guys are just awesome. I couldn't ask for a cooler audience. And I'll keep doing what I can to help you out, because you guys have helped me out way more than you'll ever know. And on that, I'm going to call it a night. You guys, good luck and everything, and have a safe one.